Purpose. No one can create your purpose for you. No one can tell you who to be. So in purpose, you have to create your own purpose. And in evolution, you have to evolve towards that purpose. It's easier to live when you have goals to meet. You understand? If you have goals to meet, then you don't feel so voided, and you understand why every day you're looking at this person in the mirror, because that is the cool part about the game. You get to be anybody you want to be.
Peace to the family. This is Brandon B. Dixon, and you tuned into the new Power of Ownership podcast. First guest, I got my man Brandon Dunbar in the building.
Hey.
So we both got the same first name, so I just call him Dunbar.
Yep. That's
So let's start it off, man. I'm gonna start with the introduction. We got a brand new format. I'm excited about it. So this is still a pilot, so we're gonna be working out a few kinks and stuff. So just bear with us. We're building it as we fly. So again, let's start it off, man. Brandon Dixon, NMLS 1541210. I'm a published author. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I'm a mortgage broker as well. My book, Sales the Nucleus of Any Profession, is out right now on Amazon. Copy of that right now. Also, if you want to apply for a mortgage, go to my website, www.applywithme.com. Also, if you want to check my rates, go to whatstodaysrates.com as well. Right now it's mortgage season, so it's the best time to get started, right now before the rates get too high. So, also, if you like what we're doing, go to the Cash App, $, the Power of Ownership. You can go from there. If you like what we're doing, go ahead and donate. We're going to get better and better. Dunbar, let's go. Tell them a little brief back. Okay. Tell them where to find you. Tell them what's your website. Tell them what you do.
Okay.
And then we're gonna dig into it.
Okay. Yeah. I'm Brandon Dunbar. I am a realtor here in the Houston area, surrounding areas. You can find me by simply googling Brandon Dunbar Realtor, and that's gonna take you straight to my page. You can check out my reviews. You can check out how good I work for my clients.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So a little bit different. We're gonna do that. I used to just talk about topics, and we kind of both chime in. But I want to interview you. We want to get a little bit more pointed now on topics, and we want to get more pragmatic. Which we still, but it's the power of ownership. So we still talking about ownership. Still talking about ownership of properties. We're still talking about ownership of businesses. We're still talking about ownership of intellectual property. But we want to get down to the nitty gritty.
Gotcha.
What's the meat and potatoes?
Understood.
So first of all, tell them how long you've been in the business.
Okay. So I'm coming on my second year in being a realtor. I don't have 10 years of experience, but I have 10 years of educational experience, and that's what I use as my tool to get my clients to the next level, and that's home ownership.
Right. So you're pretty new in the business.
Pretty new. Yeah.
So let the audience know, if you're trying to be a realtor right now, what's some of the steps that you need to take to get to be a realtor?
Gotcha. So you want to definitely have a circle of influence or a sphere of influence coming out even before you get your license, right? You want to let people know that you are going this way. You're taking steps toward being a realtor that they can trust and use in the future. So you want to get out there and get out in front of people, because everybody doesn't talk to you every day. So you want to let the people that you haven't talked to in a couple months or a couple years, let them know where you're moving.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's all you got to do. Let people know, like, real pragmatic. That's
30% of the journey.
Right.
You also need to build up your social media presence. You need to make business accounts. You need to advertise those business accounts. You need to get that out into people that doesn't necessarily know you outside of your sphere, and also business wise, you want to form your LLC, so when you get in these funds, you don't get those big tax cuts like you would if you didn't have an LLC and just doing it as a regular person.
Gotcha.
Social media.
So you don't have to have a license or anything like that? You have no license?
No, you definitely have to have a license. No, well, that takes between anywhere from six months to a year. It took me a year. Yeah, it took me a year to get mine. I'm a dual career individual. So I have a 5 to 9 job, and I have 2 5 to 9 jobs. Right. So it took me a little bit longer to get my license. Okay. It took me about a year, but that is part of the process too. And that's, max $1,500. So that's, you're not looking to break the bank to become a realtor.
Let me ask you this: what made you want to jump in the game? Why, if you already got the career going, what made you want to become a real estate?
So one thing about having a job is nobody's going to ever pay you what you are actually worth.
Gotcha.
So you have to make your stake in doing that. The best way in America is owning your own business.
Right.
So outside of working these W-2 jobs, you want to also have a business where you can reap the tax benefits of being an American citizen, and you want to also be able to provide for your family like business owners are able to.
Right. So you're just using it as a single member LLC for the tax advantage.
Exactly.
Right. So that way, your 9 to 5 pays the bills, but this actually helps you save, a little vacation money.
Exactly.
And helps you save on the taxes. Yep. Basically what you're saying. So it's not, like I said, it's. I don't know if y'all know about the single member LLC. You're able to use all that as almost like a tax shelter. Should I say, where you can write off max deductions, the stuff that you can't write off. W-2, you're able to write off on a single member LLC and get your maximum deductions. Let's talk about, all right, so since you're dual career, what do you call dual careers?
Dual career.
That's it, dual career like person, individual, citizen?
Just
dual career.
If anybody would ask me my ownership on being a realtor as being part-time or full-time, I would say I'm dual career.
Dual career. All right, so you're dual career.
So I mean I'm full-time, but I'm double full-time.
Gotcha. So you're working 80 plus.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So what are you doing to actually bring in business?
Yeah, that's a great question. These days with interest rates so crazy and going up, as opposed to a year ago, the best thing to do is to always be present on social media and to always reach out to other clients that you have worked with in the past that may have, and it's kind of tapping into your sphere of influence, reaching out to them to make sure that, where they are. Say for instance, you had a rental 7 months ago. You want to reach out back to those clients and make sure, hey, next couple of months we need to start looking for a house. Do you have anybody else at the moment that's looking for a house? Right. So you want to tap into people that, as far as the social media, you want to be present there, and you also want to follow up with past clients or future clients.
Right, so you do mainly your warm calls. That's because
warm calls, warm text messages, and social media.
Right, social media. So how, as far as social media, how are they finding you on social media? What are you doing? Post? What are you doing? Boosting posts? What exactly? We're granular on this. So what exactly we doing?
Yeah. So what you want to do is you want to be consistent with your posts. You want to have some application that could either you could build your social media posts or you could have them automatically populated. But you want to stay current with topics that's going on. I know a big topic now is, for me, is the interest rates and how that a good realtor would be able to work with good loan officers to get them these rebates or these buy downs that they would need to actually make home buying feasible in this market. But yeah, long story. Being pragmatic. Yeah, you want to stay constant on social media and be conscious of what's going on, and you want to make sure you have an application or reminders to remind yourself of when clients are coming up, or if somebody say, well, I need to rent, but when you talk to them, you know that they need to wait a couple months. You want to make sure that they don't fall off the radar and so you follow up with them.
So how did you develop your system for like follow-up? Are you using like a CRM platform like Salesforce, or you just kind of off the cuff with it, or is something you learned in corporate America, or like what type of follow-up program you
Definitely. I don't have any CRMs that I could promote or kind of attest to, but I do. I have learned from that the customer is always right, you know. So I always customer service was my number one thing. So what I do is I make my customers my family.
Right. So
meaning that birthdays, holidays, I reach out to these people so they won't be shocked when I call them and or text them and say, hey, you know, is it time to start looking or things like that. So it's really just kind of being on top of my game personally.
So kind of off the cuff, just kind of off the cuff. Kind of just reminding yourself, like, you know,
exactly.
Or just using maybe your phone to kind of remind.
Right, just setting little reminders. And I mean, of course, being a realtor, once a transaction has been approved and filed, I have those dates and I have those contact information. I can always go pull it back from.
Gotcha. Let me ask you this. So where do you see the market for the next 18 months, and what are you doing to adjust to the changes, the ups and downs of the market coming up in the next 18 months forecasted?
Gotcha. So the next 18 months are going to be, in my eyes, a toss-up with so we talked about this earlier. Right. So when it's two type of people, right, that are looking for houses. It's the type of person that's going to come to the realtor first, and there's the type of person that's going to come to the lender first.
Right.
Now going forward in this market, I want to shovel or funnel those people who are coming to the realtor first. I want them to be able to talk to a seasoned and experienced professional lender, so we could position them in a time frame that they might think is good for them,
right,
and actually see if it can work out. Because me personally, I have my customer service 100%, but if you don't have a pre-approval, then we can just talk. We can't really go into business. So going forward, I want to do my best, and I'm even thinking about taking courses in lending, so I could better kind of navigate this market that I foresee, so I could better advise my clients. But the best thing to do right now is to learn about how interest rates work and how the market works and how mortgages work, and then also have a great partner in that field.
Right. So when you say, with that being said, because just to paraphrase, so I mean, just to kind of paraphrase what you're saying and kind of lend a little nugget as far as a nudge, I like when everybody stays in their lane. I think it works better.
It definitely does.
So as a realtor, I always have that seasoned broker or loan officer to actually navigate my customers to see where they're at as far as in the sales funnel. Because there's a sales funnel in everybody's mind. So it's just picture a big funnel. Some people come in at the top, some people come at the bottom. But either way, it's your job to funnel them down to ultimately, which is the transaction, sign on the dotted line. So most people will come in, sometimes they're not even in the funnel. They're at the very edges. So that loan officer will help you funnel them down to see and pinpoint exactly where they are. So if they need credit repair, they at least 6 months out. They ready to go, however, they don't have any down payment. So you need that good partner in order to see exactly where they're at. Because most people, unless you got a cash buyer, you're nothing without the finance.
You can't do anything. You can't. I wouldn't even turn on my car to go show any the house. It's just wasting spending wheels.
You home touring at that point. So most people, this is for the consumers that's watching us. Most people will not let you look into a house unless you are pre-qualified. So it just is what it is. So that's why it's switched. It used to be back before the pandemic. I would say probably 70-80% they would go to the realtor first.
Right.
And then they would maybe 20% would come to us first. Now it's switched. I would say about 60% come to us, probably 40% come to the realtor first.
Yeah, and that makes everything a little bit smoother.
Right, right. So I'm saying that to say this, that a loan officer like myself, that's pretty progressive, that's been on the forefront of marketing, that has a large digital footprint, is more valuable than ever.
Definitely.
To partner with.
Definitely.
Because, we have the more experience in not only in more times at bat. More times, would you rather theoretical or experience?
Exactly. Yep.
So that's the thing on that. We have more experience on getting funneling your clients to see exactly where they're at. And then you have to have that trust there to, all right, this is what he said, this red light. I use the red light, yellow light, green light system. If it's a red light, there's nothing I can do.
Yeah.
Yellow light, hey, they got to do X, Y, and Z in order to be ready. Green light, they're ready to go right now. Here's the pre-qual.
And don't get me wrong, the presence of a realtor in the transaction is definitely needed. We make sure that when that contract gets to this guy, this point of it, that is favorable and is not going to put a dampener on the client. You don't make the contracts. I make the contracts. You just you follow the contract.
Right.
So don't get it wrong. You definitely need the realtor too, because if not, you're gonna have a bad deal.
Well, the realtor helps you curate your experience. So the realtor helps guide you and get you to the actual, house of your dreams.
Exactly.
So without the realtor, and then knowing the market and negotiating on your behalf.
Exactly.
So without that, you definitely get your money's worth if you got somebody that's strong negotiator. However, nothing goes without the money.
Nothing goes without the money. No, definitely. No. You definitely don't want to go and fill out a contract by yourself, or fill out a contract without somebody that is professional and looking at those contracts, sending it before you send it to the lender.
Right.
Just saying. Yeah, definitely you want to start with the lender. You want to game plan with the realtor, and the lender is going to take you home. But you definitely don't want to do one without the other. Definitely can't do one without the other with the lender.
Gotcha. So let's talk about this. Let's talk about how do you curate that experience? How do you get them in that dream home? What is your technique from conversation to closing?
Exactly.
How do you take them to that house? Do you just put them on websites and let them pick? Do you have something already in mind, and I'm going to stick you on this, and I'm going to sell you this house? What's your technique? How do you go from conversation to closing?
Gotcha. Yeah. So the first thing you want to do as a realtor is you want to listen to your clients' wants and needs. And so again, you don't know all of their wants and needs, especially all of their what they're going to need for the house if they're not dealing with a broker. So once you get past that, you know what they pre-approved for, you know what area they want to be in, you know what house size they're looking for. Then you definitely curate the listings for your clients, and you send them multiple listings, maybe even multiple regions that may work better because of their pre-approval. So you definitely want to curate it to where it's something that's achievable. You want to set expectations. That's the main thing you want to do, is you want to set expectations, and the way you do that is by knowing what they want and knowing what they can afford, and then you mesh those two together. And then that is the perfect customer service, because you have on one end you have what they can achieve and you have what they want to achieve, and you meld those together with guidance from the lender and from the client, and then you get there, you get to the finish line, and of course that's going to come down to monies and earnest monies and closing costs and good things like that, and just everyday transaction things like that. But up front, you want to make sure that you listen to the client and you know what they can get.
Right. So let me ask you this. So let's say, for example, you got, and this we wrapping it up now. You got that client that can't decide. That wants to look at 100-something houses, and every weekend they got you're part of entertainment now. We go to walk the dog Sunday, we go do our laundry, and then we go look at houses. How do you curate? What technique do you use? Again, this is the technique show. We're gonna talk about selling. We're gonna talk about marketing, and we're gonna really hit this thing home. So, what is your technique to clamp them down? We're not looking at all these houses.
Yeah, so it's all about listening, right? Because if somebody tell you their time frame is 6 months, it only takes a month to close. Right. So meaning that we don't need to search for a house for 6 months if you're 6 months out.
Right.
We want to go closer to 2.5, 3 months out, so that way that we all line up to where we kind of ending up at the same place. And that's just kind of goes back to setting expectations, right? You wanna listen, and you wanna you wanna listen for what they want and what they can get, and what's feasible. So I would say that using their time of reference is what I would go.
So you use the play clock.
Yeah,
play clock.
Exactly.
That buzzer gonna run out on you.
Exactly.
You know, but you don't have the fear. The only thing about that, you know, not you know, this is good. We need to name this segment the technique pushback, because I'm gonna go according to the sales Bible right here. You know, so according to the sales Bible, people are gonna use as much time as you let them. That it'll never stop. It'll never end. How do I curate them? How do I curate them to get them to make a choice?
If push comes to shove, money is always gonna be what it is.
Right.
It's never a great time to wait if you are looking for a house, because mortgage rates increase 2 times a day.
Right.
So if you're looking to buy a house and you know, if you give me a 6 month time frame and we at this 6 months and you still haven't we still haven't got to that point, then that means that either one thing is one of two things that happen. Either you really don't want a house, or which is the worst case scenario, you can't. You really can't afford a house. I mean, those.
You know that they can, because I pre-qualified them, so they can afford the house. They got a third thing. They need a salesman to close them, and that's where a lot of people run from the salesman thing, that we are salespeople, and you have to ABC always be closing. And what I teach, you know, is that just like that sales funnel. They try to escape out. I'm gonna close that door. And how do I close that door? They have something called, people hate to contradict themselves. So when you have them say something out loud, it's hard to go against yourself. So you use consensus in their own words. You don't just make statements. You ask questions. So by saying, "Hey, this is a nice house," that means absolutely nothing. Of course it's nice. That's why it's for sale. That's why I'm showing it to you. That's obvious. So the better statement or the better question would be, what do you like about the house? Well, I like the cabinets. I like this. I like that. I like that. I like the school district. I like this. I like that. Now, you said it. Now, it's hard to contradict yourself. Now, it's the 80-20 rule. I'm going to ask questions and I'm going to listen. And then I'm going to hold you accountable to what you said. So I'm going to close those doors on you. Like, nah, you just said that you like the cabinets. You said you like the school district. You said you like the bedrooms. You said you like the layout. So why are we looking at another house? This is what you said you like. No, and then it could come down to, well, we just want more time, and that's why I think time is definitely definite. I mean, and that's one of my first questions. What's your time frame? But yeah, you definitely want, because you know, if we at this 6 months and you've seen you said
4 or 5 houses that were great, then I know that, you know, at this 6 month mark, it's just not there. It's just not meant to be right now.
Or you can make them there. So this is where you need to stay tuned to the Power of Ownership podcast or copy the book. It's all in there. I think this is chapter 4. You know, so I go into detail about this. You have to put your salesman shoes. That is selling. Selling is not doing the Vanna White thing. Hey, this is nice, like this. selling is when they say that they don't want to buy right now. That's when the salesman come out.
Gotcha.
So, and that's when you have to put your big boy britches or big gal britches on and put them back on track. You know, and we're going to dive into more of this stuff. And this is going to be helpful to a lot of realtors that get stuck where you showing them a million properties and then they're going to tell you, nah, we're going to think about it, it's not for us. That's because you didn't make it for them. You didn't curate the experience right. You didn't sell them. You didn't close them. And I guarantee you, right behind you, they're gonna go to somebody else and then they're gonna get a real sale and they're gonna close them. An interesting fact. Shout out to Egypt Sherrod. You know, this is one of my referral partners out of Atlanta. She's on HGTV. She brought up an interesting fact that 93% of all the business nationwide on a realtor scope is done by 13% of the realtors.
I did hear that statistic.
So 93% of all the business is done by 13%. Why do you think that is?
Yeah, I mean, I would think it's because of the machine that they have, you know, kind of power in them. I would think that it was.
How did they get to that?
I mean, whether it be their brokerage or themselves, it's probably going to be their brokerage.
I disagree. I think they know how to sell. They know how to market. It's just blocking and tackling. And you know, everybody's different, but they all the same.
Well, if you in Katy, right, you're gonna call, if you're in Katy and you in real estate, you're gonna call Keller Williams Katy, right? You're gonna call the biggest brokerage.
Not necessarily. It's changed. Most people don't give a damn if it's Satan mortgage and it's, you know what I'm saying, Satan realty. They're gonna look at that particular house, that particular area. They're gonna go looking for houses first. And unless I know somebody, unless I know this is a relative I went to high school with, then they probably call their friend. Most people are gonna look at a car, they're gonna look at realtor.com, oh, I like this house. Then they're gonna Google the house and see. Then, all right, if there's a video or something that caught my eye, I'm gonna call the person that's on there. How can I check this house out? I like it. Or I know I'm real serious. I know I really want to get this house. Let me get my money first. So let me call my loan officer. Let me call the bank first. Let me get pre-qualified first. If they're a little bit more savvy.
Yeah, and that's what you wish for.
Right, but either way, they're gonna look at the house first. It's so condensed. It's so cluttered with realtors. Most people don't understand how this works.
Yeah, that's true.
So they're not gonna look for a realtor first. It's gonna be the property first. And then from there, if a realtor is attached to that property, or they know somebody, you know, or they've been watching you on social media and know that you're a realtor. Now I'm in the actual market. Let me call you because you gave me something. You gave me entertainment. You gave me hope. You gave me joy. You gave me something.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead. I feel obligated to do business with you.
Yep.
That's how it works. But we don't want to keep you too long. Again, what are we at right now, Dave?
27 minutes.
Oh,
that's perfect.
Yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. Again, I'm gonna go ahead and take you out. I'm gonna let Brandon Dunbar go ahead and do his outro. Okay. Tell them where they can find you.
Yep.
So on and so forth.
Yep. Google Brandon Dunbar Realtor. I'm the first full screen is me, so you can click any link and you'll get to me and check me out on Horror and Google.
Gotcha. Again, my name is Brandon B. Dixon, NMLS 1541210. I am a mortgage broker, serial entrepreneur, published author, so on and so forth. Again, if you want to go to my website, go to www.applywithme.com. If you want to get a copy of the book, which I suggest, if you're a professional, get the copy of that book. Sales the Nucleus, being a professional, $13. I'll make you 6 figures. I damn near guarantee it. Let's wrap it up. This is Brandon B. Dixon, NMLS 1541210. I am a mortgage broker. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I'm a published author, so on and so forth. If you want to go to my website and get a mortgage, go to www.applywithme.com. It should be underneath the screen right now. If you want to go ahead and get a copy of my book, which you need as a professional, I guarantee you're going to make 6 figures if you follow the program. $13 on Amazon. Just put my name in, Brandon B. Dixon. Also, if you want to check my rates, you can check my rates 24/7. Go to www.whatstoday'srates.com. Also, one other sponsor that I want to plug before we get out of here. You want one of them fly condos? You want one of them nice townhouses? Those 3-piece, 4-piece, or the 4-stacks, 3 stacks, or whatever they call them? Go to our website, www.houstonCondoSales.com, where it's for Houstonians by Houstonians. So check that out. Check us out on house tours coming soon. That's one of our YouTube series coming out real soon. Check us out. Power Ownership Podcast is going to be coming out every week. So check us out. This is the pilot episode. We're going to say peace.
Peace.
Purpose. No one can create your purpose for you. No one can tell you who to be. So in purpose, you have to create your own purpose. And in evolution, you have to evolve towards that purpose. It's easier to live when you have goals to meet. You understand? If you have goals to meet, then you don't feel so voided, and you understand why every day you're looking at this person in the mirror, because that is the cool part about the game. You get to be anybody you want to be.